Hello there, YouTube. This is a response to another 10Phoenix01 video. This one being just a general question, and a very interesting one about the nature of the devil and evil, and do we ever believe that? Right. First things first. The devil being an actual being. Yes, this is an interesting one. There was recently a documentary by a British comedian called Andy Hamilton that looked through the history of the devil figure. And yes, his sort of theological origins are very easy to trace. The fact that he has different roles in each different version of the Abrahamic faiths. To me, though, the one that seems most like the idea that seems most likely is the sort of the original Jewish idea of basically a sort of a divine hitman. Because if you create an enemy of God, you're kind of denying his omnipotence. You're creating a equal and opposite force, which is going into Zoroastrianism and dualism, and it's kind of it's certainly a bit dubious. So yes, there is this being. Funnily enough, in the Bible, as opposed to the original Torah, there is a section where an angel of the Lord comes down, and I can't remember the exact. Comes down and threatens this guy to turn around. This is actually Satan. The word Satan in Hebrew means turn around, and that was his original job. His job and his appearance in the book Job, no connection intended there, was he was there in his role as God's sort of divine black ops man, doing the dirty jobs that God didn't want to do himself. So the idea of him as a direct enemy, I think, is unlikely. What created evil? Well, the temptation is to go for original sin, the whole original sin argument, but that's something I'm struggling with. The idea that all because of one temptation, the entirety of evil exists. Probably not. But it's something I'm still sort of figuring through myself. Do we all have evil within us? That's the thing. I've, personally, always preferred the villains to the heroes and whatever thing I'm looking at. As a writer, my villains often end up more successful than my heroes. And if I do write heroes, they tend to be anti-heroes. And I think that evil is the sort of the central. It's everything we don't like about ourselves, but nonetheless secretly admire. It's a kind of a strange dichotomy. I mean, as I said, I've said several times before, Frank Gorshin famously said when filming the 1966 Batman series, he turned around to Adam West and said, "This isn't your show, this isn't Bert's show, this is the show of the villains. We're the ones that people are going to remember." And yeah, he was right, because if it wasn't for him, the Riddler would not be as prominent in the comics as he is now. Because he made an ultimately ridiculous concept badass. And yeah, he made this impression on it that would later be expanded on by Jim Carrey. That meant that this character would never sort of disappear, like, for example, the Amazing Polka Dot Man has, or the Clock King, or I could list about 100 others, but I exaggerate. But yes, so yes, evil is in there, and I think it is sort of the central part of human nature. It's a rather disturbing thing to say, but it kind of is. The temptation to sort of be selfish, to take the shortcuts, is there within all of us, and in some ways, it's probably more defined. The traits that we as a society have come to realise as evil are probably more suited to human survival than any other. That's something to think about. Anyhow, it was a very good question, and I do recommend you go subscribe to 10Phoenix01. He's very intelligent guy, and he's got some, and he will be playing the Riddler in the next episode of United Underworld, which is being compiled and filmed at the moment. So yeah, do check him out.